The new powers that we are gaining now, especially the powers of biotechnology and artificial intelligence, are really going to transform us into gods. Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me, so whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. The next phase is the surveillance going under our skin. Governments want to know not just where we go or who we meet. Above all, they want to know what is happening under our skin. What's our body temperature? What's our blood pressure? What is our medical condition?
Individual carbon footprint tracker.
The future is not just happening. The future is built by us.
Now humans are developing even bigger powers than ever before. We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life. I know that in recent years we saw populist politicians undermining deliberately the trust that people have in important institutions like universities, like respectable media outlets. These populist politicians told people that, say, scientists are this small elite disconnected from the real people. You shouldn't believe them. The big question is meaning. What will they do all day? And one of the answers is that they will just play computer games all day. Virtual reality games. They will spend more and more time playing virtual reality games that will give them much more excitement and emotional engagement than anything in the real world outside. I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
Wait.
Within a century or two, Earth will be dominated by entities that are more different from us than we are different from Neanderthals or from chimpanzees. Because in the coming generations, we will learn how to engineer bodies and brains and minds. Now, how exactly will the future masters of the planet look like? This will be decided by the people who own the data. Those who control the data control the future not just of humanity, but the future of life itself.
Everyone repeat after me. Death to the New World Order. Say it now.
That small cabal, it does not exist. It's a figment of your imagination.
Ah, okay.
Citizens of the utopia and synthetic reality. In this video we are going to reveal how transhumanism is a dangerous, irrational death cult shrouded in the language of geeky cybernetics. In fact, the entire idea that you can upload your mind to a computer is complete junk science quackery, and an attempt to get you all to manifest what they want, as you'll soon see. In case you're new to the term, transhumanism means uploading your mind to a machine, discarding your body, then achieving immortality by living forever through machines and robots. Google's director of engineering, Ray Kurzweil, has been pushing this cult for many years, and just recently he promised that by 2045, humanity would achieve what he calls the singularity, where our minds can be uploaded to computers. In less than a century, Kurzweil says, we could all discard our fragile human bodies and inhabit advanced robotic systems as our new immortal selves. Kurzweil's cult is so bizarre and dangerous that following it can only lead to a lunaticity of mass death and deception. Kurzweil's sci-fi cybernetic mind meld theories are so outlandish that they make Scientology's galactic narratives sound like Christian Sunday school. Where to even begin the debunking of it all? Let's start with its claims. How would transhumanism even work? Let's examine the claims of the transhumanism cult leaders like Kurzweil. They are saying that by 2045, all the following technology will exist. Technology number 1, a way to scan your entire brain and record every neuron and holographic patterning that exists in your brain. Technology number 2, a way to build an equally complex computing system that has equivalent computational capabilities as your brain. Technology number 3, a way to copy your brain scan into the computing system. This is called uploading your brain to the machine. Once these three technologies exist, we are promised, we can all transfer our minds to computer systems and experience digital immortality. But wait a second. Something's already missing here. Do you see it? In this plan there is no mechanism to transfer your consciousness to the machine. So even if all three of these technologies are adequately developed, which is possible, by the way, they still don't provide a way to merge your mind with a machine. Nothing more than a computer simulation of your brain. All you've really done, even if all three technologies are developed and working by 2045, is made a copy of your brain. This copy may, indeed, be able to run on the machine, but it's nothing more than a simulation of your brain. It is not you. Similarly, if someone takes a photo of you and posts a print of the photo on the wall, they can say they've made you immortal through photography, but your mind is obviously not living inside the photograph. If you're a star in a motion picture, you may be immortalized by your fans who see you as living forever in your famous films, but your consciousness does not live inside the movie. The real you is still inhabiting your human body. No matter how complex the depicted simulation, a scan of you that is replicated in another medium, a photo, a movie, or a highly advanced computer, is not you. Thus, the promise of transhumanism is a fraudulent one, and uploading is the wrong metaphor. You aren't uploading your consciousness to a machine, you're simply creating a non-conscious computer simulation of your brain. And how do we know that's true? To answer that question, we have to dig deeper into the definition of you. What are you? I'll keep this short by beginning with the ending. You are not merely your body. You are far more than your body. And the way we know this is because the instant you die, your body is still the same it was, but the you is no longer present. You are actually a non-physical consciousness interfaced with a physical brain. You are a non-physical consciousness, sometimes called a soul or spirit. This consciousness experiences the world through your physical sensory organs. This discussion of consciousness is the part that drives the transhumanists bonkers, because to be a member of their cult, you have to believe that there is no such thing as consciousness, or a soul, or free will. You have to believe that consciousness is an artifact of the brain itself, a kind of ghost in their machine, if you will, that somehow gives rise to the self-delusion of awareness. This means you have to believe free will is an illusion, and that if you copy the brain and paste it somewhere else, then somehow magically that other thing becomes you. But this makes no sense. There is no mechanism for the transfer of the focal point of consciousness. If you copy and paste your brain, that is, upload your brain, to another machine, but your human body is still alive and breathing, then you haven't uploaded your consciousness anywhere. You have only made a complex facsimile of your neurology. Such is the great gap in the theory of transhumanism. There is no mechanism to transfer your consciousness, your soul, from your body to the machine. How do you transplant your soul? There, transhumanists have no answer for that. They simply pretend your soul doesn't exist and therefore need not be considered at all. There is nothing in their plan to transplant your soul. So what's actually going to happen to all these transhumanism cult members? And here's the hilarious part in all this, is that people like Ray Kurzweil will just die, and if they did manage to copy their brain to a machine, that machine will simply run as a simulation, carrying on the computational appearance of Ray Kurzweil, but doing so mindlessly, with no soul or consciousness. What do you call 50 transhumanists who have uploaded their brains to machines and then killed off their physical bodies? A busy day at the morgue. Transhumanism is a death cult, much like the infamous Heaven's Gate cult led by Marshall Applewhite. Marshall promised his followers that their minds would merge with space aliens who were hiding in a mothership piggybacked on the Hale-Bopp comet. Just like Ray Kurzweil, Marshall Applewhite promised immortality and said that disconnecting from your body, via suicide, of course, was the path to enlightenment. Believe it or not, Applewhite said that he was actually an alien spirit who hijacked a human body, taking it over for his own delusional purposes. He never explains what he did with the previous soul that once occupied the body. Kurzweil promises that you will live forever if you discard your body, and merge your brain with machines that have yet to be invented. At some point, just like with Heaven's Gate, you will need to kill your physical body in order to complete the upload to Kurzweil's cybernetic computers. There's probably some Kool-Aid involved in all this, no doubt. Kurzweil Kool-Aid. Both Applewhite and Kurzweil are obviously insane. Both are also extremely convincing and charismatic. Kurzweil's shtick is that he's very convincing to techno-geeks at Google. People who have now put him in charge of Google's technology. This alone is frightening, realizing that Google has been suckered into the cult of transhumanism, a cult based on such bizarre sci-fi distortions that it makes Scientology look downright conservative by comparison. Perhaps Google will soon announce its own cult, Googletology, or Kurzweilianism. But there's something even more frightening in all this. The transhumanists may succeed in creating such convincing simulations that they fool huge numbers of other people into thinking the mind meld with machines actually works. And they may then commit suicide to merge with the machines as Kurzweil describes. Are you getting this yet? A convincing simulation is still not, you see. If you do manage to scan a human brain and copy it over to a highly complex computer system, and this very well may be possible by 2045, it may create a strongly convincing simulation that appears to be alive. It may be able to talk with you, reason with you, and even inhabit a humanoid robot that walks around the world much like a human. This illusion of consciousness may be so convincing that large numbers of individuals are convinced to kill themselves as part of some sort of transference to the machine. It will be given a friendly sounding name, of course, such as U 2.0. Drink the Kool-Aid, kill off your physical body, and then your brain pattern gets copied to a digital simulation of you while the Kurzweil cultists stand back and say, Shazam! You've been uploaded into a machine. Ain't it trendy? Not really. You're actually dead, and now the machine is running a convincing simulation of your personality. This simulation may manage to convince your friends that you're still alive inside the machine, but your spirit is actually long gone, having departed the earthly realm when your physical body died, from drinking the Kool-Aid. Realistically, the task of creating computer systems capable of fooling human beings into thinking they're real people is not so astonishing given a time frame of 30 years or so. But the Turing test never took into account the existence of a non-physical consciousness or soul. Turing's theories were missing something vital to existence: consciousness. So if you see a computer system running a non-screen personality that claims to be Ray Kurzweil, and it invites you to drink some Kool-Aid and merge with the machines, just hit delete and go back to playing Farmville. Please bring back common sense, people. We are anonymous. We are legion, we are free. We refuse your trans Kool-Aid kill all bullshit. Expect us. Ghost out.